Hi, everyone. Welcome to the replay. If you're watching this replay, I thank you so much for being here and for taking this information in. This information could change your life and the lives of those you know and love. And so we take this seriously. My name's Mary, and I'm here with Amanda and April. And chances are one of us or somebody else invited you to take a look at this information because they care about you and we and they want you to know just how awesome your body is and what you are capable of. And so, thank you again for coming. And I always ask a couple of questions in the beginning of these presentations, and it's really to get you thinking about why you are here. When you were invited to this call or to look at this information, what was it that prompted you to attend? So, just think about that. If you want to reach out to us and share your answer, we would love to hear because your answer to that question really is a need inside of you that is not currently being met. And sometimes when that happens, especially when it comes to our health and our wellness, we can feel like there's no hope and that you've run out of options because what the world is offering us just does not cut it. And I'm here to share that if that's where you are, there is hope, which we'll get to soon. But your body has capabilities that I guarantee that you have not even heard of. So it was in my 30s and in my 40s that I started to learn about things in my body that I had that I was never taught in school. And that makes all the difference. In our world, we are all about outsourcing our health. We outsource it to systems that frankly don't work. But the answers to our challenges are inside of us. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Our genes are not our fate. You know, the genes that you have, the hereditary, the stuff that you inherited from your mom and your dad, it's not your fate. And your genes are really your toolkit. And that's what we're here to share with you. And why we're here, why April's here, why Amanda's here. So we're going to get into that and just let you know because we want you to know what you're capable of and what your bodies are capable of. So, the problem, the challenge that we have in America, for those of us in America, we spend nearly twice as much on healthcare as other developed nations, but we have the last rank in life expectancy. Not only that, we have the highest rate of multiple chronic diseases among developed countries. So, people with multiple chronic illnesses. And then we face unprecedented exposures to toxins, not only, because our modern day conveniences are just bombarding us with these, but that we keep on layering them. It's not like one replaces the other. They just keep layering, just like 5G didn't replace 4G. It just layers right on top of it. Those layers can weigh us down and make us feel like we are like just fighting uphill. We are trying to have all of these things on our back and we are literally trudging up the hill towards this elusive goal of wellness and it's not working. So my question is it time to discover alternative solutions? For me, the answer was absolutely yes, and I'll share that about that in a minute. But if you are ready to find alternative solutions that lie within you, then stick around because that's what we're going to share today. Um, I wanted to briefly share about, I'll share about me in a minute, but these are your wellness advocates for this call. Myself, Mary, Amanda, and April. But at some point today, I want you to go and look in the mirror because you are your biggest wellness advocate. And this goes back to not outsourcing our decisions, our health. Look in the mirror. You are it. You are it. And take back that control that you may have outsourced to experts or a system that just quite frankly is broken. So I want you to promise me that you'll do that today. And then we're going to share. Amanda, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and say a few words about April too.
Thank you, Mary, and fantastic introduction. I just absolutely love the way you position the realities that we really are facing day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. Things really haven't changed dramatically for many, and they're still seeking solutions. And so I just love the way you position that. So we have solutions today, friends, that we are so excited to share about. We are passionate about it. We are so passionate that everyone just simply deserves to know. So that's where Mary's coming from. And thank you for allowing us to have your time today, Mary. Your time is so valuable, and I know how busy you are. And we truly appreciate your team leadership and showing up for us when we are, yeah, when we are so excited to share this with anyone who is just open to learning. And we hope that you're open to learning. So I was brought into this picture, and I was presented with this solution many years ago when my now 14-year-old was initially born. He had experienced medical injury as an infant, and this was shared with me in my immediate postpartum months, and I made the most use of it, and it had the most profound effect. And if you are curious about my testimony, I encourage you to get in touch with me, Mary, or April, and any of us can send you the link to the recording about my story, because I don't want to take away from April's today. It's so special what we have, and everyone has such a connection with what we are excited to share with you. And some people have profound experiences. Some people have everyday experiences. They can't even tell what's going on because of the innate presence of where this is. This is within our beings. And so we can't see what's really going on inside of us all the time, unless it's really a grave medical situation, which I had experienced as a mother with my newborn. So if you'd like to hear my story, just reach out, and it might be talked about a little bit throughout the call. But if you want the full picture, any of us can share my link with you where you can watch the recording about my launch call doing this exact same blueprint a year ago. Oh my gosh, it's literally been like 1 year, Mary. I think it's actually the 1 year anniversary within the week. I love it. April and I's timing seems to just be very synchronically ordered through the year of becoming friends as well, because I met April in September. It's now May, so we've known each other for about 6 months, and I met her on the front lawn. We're neighbors, and we started chatting about how we feel, what we're facing, and just really coming together on that mom note, on that woman, wife, like partner in the world, trying to really just like keep our families happy and healthy. And so that was our connection point, and we just continued to like bloom and blossom in our friendship through the months. And I shared with her about what we are excited to share today. And she saw it right away, and she started doing her research and just being blown away. So it's been beautiful to watch her like join the community. And now she launched a week ago, and this is like number two of her series of launch calls. So we're doing these virtual launch calls to share with you. And the reason that this recording landed within your access is because we care about you. Anybody who shares this information with you really cares about you from the depths of their heart, and they want you to be the healthiest, most vibrant, optimally functioning human that you can be. And that's what this is. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to April and allow her to introduce herself. So thank you.
Thanks. Hi, my name's April. I was really inspired by Amanda when I first met her because of her dedication to health and wellness in general, and just the information that she's tried to spread to the world and the person that she stands up to be. And so that kind of drew me in. And then also her story about how Protanum and LifeVantage had helped her was really just inspiring to me, because I was in postpartum when I met her. And I was just, I was struggling with executive functioning. I have those issues. And I was struggling to take care of myself. You know, PPD is not super fun. And Protanum definitely helped me pick up my pace, and I healed way more faster than I thought that I was going to. People had commented on how I looked because my skin got better, my hair got better. It was easier for me to lose weight. And I am not a marketing person, and I have always avoided marketing in general. But I was actually excited to join because I have so much faith in what my own personal experience was. And then I've just heard that over and over and over again from anybody else who's really experienced, you know, dedicating, their time to LifeVantage. So, yeah,
Thank you for being and sharing. Thank you.
thanks.
Yes, thank you. That was awesome. Yeah, we talked about this the other day too. It's like I have a friend who says the best time to get activated was 10 years ago, and the next best time is now. And so we know everybody's on their own timeline and everybody's on their own journey. And it's really your decision what you do with this information. We want to make sure that you get it, we get it in front of you, and then you can do what you want with it. And I've had friends share information with me that literally helped me save my thyroid. So this picture of me was coming home from a deployment in 2017. And when I got home from this deployment, doctors found very large thyroid nodules, and they told me, if you were my daughter, I would tell you to get your thyroid out. And so I was like, you know, I don't want to get rid of a piece of my body. And at the time, I didn't even know what my thyroid was really responsible for because I hadn't really learned about my body. And I feel like we don't learn about our bodies. And I feel like there's a reason for it. Because if we know and understand our bodies, then we can be our own advocate and heal our bodies from the inside out and not have to outsource. So that's a soapbox for another day. But that
Yeah.
was what happened in this picture coming back from this deployment. And this is what really began to send me down a path of looking at holistic health. Um, I didn't want to get rid of my thyroid. I still have my thyroid, spoiler alert. And friends along the way had shared things with me, different things. And one of those things was what we're going to share today. So there is hope, and that's where I want to start with this. There is hope for our challenges and for our lives. And this hope didn't just come about recently. This hope was a result of years of research. So you can see all the way back in 2005, there was a primetime ABC investigative report on our flagship product because the doctor who created our flagship product was doing this research and finding these crazy things. And so the ABC kind of went out to say, debunk everything and expose it. But what they ended up finding is that the science backed what Dr. McCord was saying. And Dr. McCord isn't just any doctor off the street, which we'll get to in a few minutes. He made such a powerful discovery, and it was even before 2005. And that discovery has just opened up a whole realm of possibilities for us. And as we continue to go forward, we have more discoveries and more things we can activate in our body. We're going to cover three of them, these powerful genetic switches in our body that can make all the difference. And keep going. Fast forward, John Quinones is still taking the NRF2 activator because he got to experience it and see his lab and blood work during this ABC prime time. And this is something that we can send you this clip of the ABC prime time so you can kind of get a feel for what that looked like and what they found. So we're going to share a little bit about this today, and it all goes back to the same root. So we have root causes of all of the things that ail us, and a huge one, the probably the one of the biggest is oxidative stress, which equates to free radical damage. And you can see on this slide all of the things that stem from oxidative stress. It's really crazy. There is no part of our body that is not affected by oxidative stress and cellular damage. So if our whole body has a common enemy and all of our Dis-ease states stem from a common enemy. What if we could address that root cause instead of masking symptoms, medicating, taking out body parts before we even address the root cause? I am so thankful that this came into my life before I took out my thyroid because, as I know now, the thyroid isn't just one little gland. It affects so much and has so many interactions with your hormones that I just kind of shudder to think what my life would look like if I hadn't learned what I know now and what I continue to learn. So just like the rusting of a car, if you were going to leave it out and expose it to the air, our cells are also damaged by those free radicals and oxidation. And that leads to be the cause of many diseases. So, what diseases you say? Well, you saw that chart on the previous page, but you can literally go into PubMed and you can research oxidative stress and whatever you want to put in there. Chronic pain was one that I put in. And as you can see, there, you might not be able to see the number, but it's over 350,000 results. And you can see the exponential growth of those articles because now it's just way more mainstream. We know that oxidative stress plays a part in chronic pain and many other things. And as you can see here, male infertility, chronic PTSD. The list just goes on and on. And a distinction that I want to make is that with this presentation, we're not claiming to cure, mitigate, or treat any disease. No supplement can by law. And but I want to ask you a question too. Do drugs really do that? If they did, we wouldn't still have this multiple chronic issues. So what if we tried something different and got to the root cause? How do we do that? So we can supplement. We can like throw the way I like to look at supplementation is like we're throwing ingredients against the wall and seeing which sticks. I'm going to take some turmeric for inflammation. I'm going to take some quercetin for this, and I'm going to take, this for that, it's not bad. Supplementation isn't bad, but the truth is it doesn't powerfully turn on our body's own capabilities. And that is what we're doing with activation. The concept is nutrigenomics, that targeted nutrients can affect the way our genes express. And if we can do that, then we can tune our bodies to behave like they were designed to behave. Our genes, they get out of whack, they go rogue. Some overexpress, some underexpress. Our flagship activator tunes that like a piano and brings them into balance, bringing them to where they're resonating where they're supposed to be. And that just gives our body a leg up to do what they were designed to do. We're activating our body's intelligent design. Our bodies are legitimate miracles, and I'm like blown away every time I learn something else about what our bodies do. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy creation, and we can activate it. So the doctor I mentioned earlier, Dr. McCord, he is a brilliant man who was one of two people who discovered our body's master antioxidant. So not the ones that we try to eat that are like down here on this pyramid, the ones at the top, up here at the tippy top. Um, he discovered the one at the top, and his discovery was so significant that antioxidant enzyme is literally measured in his last name. So if you were going to go get some lab work done to measure your master antioxidant, it would be in McCord units. And that is because this brilliant man was the one who discovered it. And so that was all the way back in 1969. But how many people have never even heard of this master antioxidant? They're just trying to eat their antioxidants, which is really not making a dent into their free radical damage, which we'll cover later on. So, tools to repair cellular damage. So we know the problem. What's the solution? One of the solutions that we have is activating the NRF2 pathway in our bodies that work in all mammals. And we can do this very powerfully through our flagship activator, our NRF2 activator. Basically, it turns up your antioxidant production and it tunes your genes. Those are the two main things it does. And it does that intelligently by working with your biology, not working against your biology. And so, what they found in this research because of this ABC prime time is that our flagship activator reduces oxidative stress, that root cause of disease, by 40% in 30 days. And we have that as an FDA approved statement because the science backs the statement. So it's not a claim, it's a statement. We can reduce the root cause of aging and disease by an average of 40% in 30 days. And then we just have study after study to show it. And then we just have testimonial after testimonial to show it, including animals, which don't have a placebo effect. And so that is the first tool that came on the scene. And then we've just been expanding since then. There's other brilliant people who have come alongside into LifeVantage and just continued to develop these products that turn on our body's capabilities. Not only can we address that main root cause of disease, free radical damage, let's drop down to the second root cause of disease, mitochondrial dysfunction. You can go back to PubMed and put in mitochondrial dysfunction and fill in the blank. You might want to try neurological diseases because our brains have up to 2 million mitochondria per cell. All of our very important organs, our brain, our heart, and females' ovaries, have a very high concentration of mitochondria. So let's think about people we know that have brain, heart, and ovary issues. It's got to be what percent of the population? I mean, 80? Is that maybe not high enough? I don't know what you think. You can weigh in, let me know what you think. But mitochondrial dysfunction is huge, a huge problem, and it's linked to many things that are concerning to us today, like neurological conditions. What if we could turn on our body to produce healthy mitochondria? We can. That pathway is that NRF1 pathway, and we can turn that on. What if we could activate our body's built-in longevity proteins, sirtuins, and turn up our body's own production of NAD? If you follow Justin Bieber on Instagram, you may see that he goes and gets glutathione, I mean not glutathione, NAD IVs. He'll go get an IV of NAD, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta talk to Justin Bieber because he's got to know that his body can make it itself. He doesn't need to be going sticking needles in his arm. I can help him out. I can, and then we can help his friends. That's what this is all about. So the cool thing too is that these are synergistic. When you put them together, they increase the effectiveness of each other up to 1,900%. So there's different numbers, but when you get to like 17 times versus 19 times, I mean, what's the difference really? The point remains that it's a huge amount that we can uh, amplify these effects, which is really awesome. So just know that your body is awesome. And that's why we're here to share, because I believe everyone deserves to know the power of their bodies and what can be done with activation. So you can see this antioxidant pyramid that I was talking about earlier. Not only do people go get NAD IVs, but they'll go get glutathione IVs. That's one of our master antioxidants that's becoming more mainstream. Now, when you are on social media and you care about wellness, you'll get glutathione ads and like liposomal glutathione supplements, but that's not helping your body produce its own. That's just, again, trying to supplement. We can literally turn these things on, and you can see that they have an increasingly protective effect as you go up the pyramid. And I love this quote by Dr. Nettles. He's a chiropractor, and he says, if we're not activating, we're deteriorating. Time in the aging process will slow our body's processes after we hit 25. Oh, we're fully developed, and now we're going to go on that gradual downhill slope till death. No, we don't have to. We can come back. We can reverse that aging at the biological level, and we do that by activating our bodies. And there's so many powerful testimonies. But this woman here is a lady that I have in my notebook. We heard her talk at conference, and I can share her testimony with you if you'd like to see it. She had a host of things. She couldn't even like work. She couldn't, I think most days she couldn't really get out of bed. She was just debilitated by her conditions. And she spoke on stage and she said, because of this opportunity and the products, she was able to live and not just exist. And that got me. And I was like, if I can help one person move from just existing to actually living again, then that will make me so happy. And I mean, we have one, like, this is our lifetime right here. How do we want to live it? Do we want to live it in survival mode, outsourcing to systems that don't work, or do we want to activate our bodies so we can live powerfully and age powerfully? I know my choice, but you get to make yours. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can see all of the organizations that have researched Protandem, and there's some really powerful studies here. One that I like to highlight is this LSU study. They found that NRF2 activations helps to slow the incidence and spread of melanoma. And so LifeVantage put this NRF2 activation into a skincare line. So it's just this activation can affect so many things, and we're not stopping. That's the cool part. I can't wait to see, what we activate next. And this is just a little glimpse of what's possible. These are just some of the testimonials that we've had. And you can see the animals on the right side of this screen. Two litter mates, one was activated, one wasn't. You can see how they age. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But again, if we can reduce root causes of aging, then we can slow and reverse that aging process at the cellular level. And then, hair regrowth. There's conditions like alopecia, and those are, again, root causes, mitochondrial dysfunction and oxidative stress. And so this is just what happens when we activate, and you can see what's possible, as well as with our collagen that added on later. And you can see those are my eyes, and it was like I got an eyelid lift, and my eyelids are consistently lifted now. Every once in a while when I'm tired, they'll kind of like take a little nap and go down, and then it's like keep taking that collagen and they just go right back up. It's crazy. So these are the cool things that you might see. And just speaking of activating collagen, we just, like I said, we keep increasing the number of things that we can activate. The collagen came out in 2023, and it immediately won a Stevie Award for Best New Product. I think it was a bronze award. Um, and why? Because it's doing something that most collagen, I mean, no collagen that I know of actually can claim or say, because not only does our collagen have 10 types of collagen, which you can see all the areas those collagen types are in, but we turn on your body's production by increasing those genes, upregulating those genes will produce more collagen. Then there's actually a gene that degrades your collagen. We're going to turn that down. And we've got the clinical research to show you. So I had recently someone ask me what our biggest competitor for collagen was, and I said truthfully, I said there is none that I know of. If somebody can bring me a collagen with studies and data to show what it's doing in the body, then I might say, okay, I'll give you that. Let's compare them. But at the moment, there's really no comparison. And if you're not activating, then you're missing out, quite frankly. So, what else can we activate? The GLP-1 hormone. I'm not going to go into this in great detail. We have presentations on this as well. We have more detailed presentations on all of these topics. So if you have any area of interest that you're, you know, just wanting to learn more about, just let me know. We can get that to you. But GLP-1 is a hormone. Most people think GLP-1 is a drug because, like me, most people didn't even know GLP-1 was a hormone. And when the drug companies came out with drugs to imitate it, then we all learned, oh, what is this doing? What is this responsible for? And the GLP-1 hormone is not only responsible for weight management, metabolic health, but it's also neuro and cardioprotective. However, a lot of these synthetic petroleum-based products that we have to mimic this hormone and fake your body into thinking that you have it, it comes with harsh side effects and muscle loss and potentially bone density loss is coming out now. So what if we could turn on our body's own production? Well, we can. Spoiler alert. We came out with an activator, LifeVantage. Brilliant people, like I said. If it was up to me, this product would never have come out. But thank God it wasn't up to me. I just get to share it. We can increase our GLP-1 production. Now they're saying 220% in 12 weeks, which is just crazy and really unheard of. That's what we can do. And then again, just synergy. Every, literally every product we have is synergistic with another product. And we're just gaining the research to show how and what it's doing. But our flagship activator and this GLP-1 activator, they found that it helps to restore, rebuild, and renew your internal organs. So just like our skin is getting damages and kind of like wearing out, it almost seems like it gets thinner over time. That's what's happening to our internal organs. So what if we could rebuild those? And just like we can on the outside with our collagen, what if we could do that on the inside? Well, we can. So many spoiler alerts. We can just do so much and it's awesome. So just like revisiting hope, because it's just so important to start and always revisit hope, because without hope, we are really stuck. And I don't want that for anyone. And this picture is Amanda's son that she mentioned earlier, who, doctors said would, be a vegetable and not walk and not have quality of life. Well, as you can see, that's the farthest thing from the truth. And he's very, very smart and it's just amazing. And that just goes to show you, don't accept somebody else's perceived limitations of you. And I love how Dr. Dispenza says, don't put limits on your transformation with your mind or your actions. And really, if we can activate our body's capabilities, then we just are that much better off as we go through this life. So that is a huge portion of what we wanted to talk about, but we also wanted to just share about the opportunity because we like to tell the whole story with LifeVantage. LifeVantage is the only network marketing company that I know of that first started retail. We were talking about this the other day. It used to be available in GNC, but because it had a story to tell, it wasn't really selling on the shelves of GNC. So instead, they decided to use a workforce of people who would be motivated to share it and tell the story, not only because, whether they see the science or they see the opportunity or they see how it's helped themselves or others, there is an opportunity and this just helps us to reach way more people. Because unlike pharmaceutical companies that advertise on TV and spend about $17 billion a year on advertising, LifeVantage doesn't advertise, they pay us consultants to get the word out. So it's awesome. They take out the middleman and we get to share, which is honestly one of the biggest honors and missions of my life. I believe everyone deserves to hear about what their bodies are capable of. And if someone were to pass without learning what their capabilities are, I would feel bad for them. It's if you think about it, like our bodies are so precious and we have them. This one body that we have it from birth to death. We don't change it out like our cars. We can't change it out like our homes. We call homes our forever home, but this is our forever body. So what can we do? And my question is, along with all my other questions I've asked you today, is how many lives could be changed and transformed by sharing what you learned today? Um, Infinite number of lives. And that's why we need more people to share the story. We need more people to use their voice to get the word out because there's so much noise in the world. There's so many pharmaceutical commercials. We need people to know what they're capable of. And so our mission really is to, and our vision is to build a community of wellness advocates, which you are for yourself, remember, who empower others and themselves to live their most vibrant lives. And that's what we're doing, creating an awesome team. We have this CEO love shirt, being the CEO of our own lives, our own health, our own wellness. And then I love the way one of our leaders says, yeah, he says, we're creating an empire of love. We're building an empire of love. And that looks different to everybody, but for me, it really looks like people who are empowered to make the best decision for themselves, because there is so much out there and we are not getting accurate information to make good decisions. So if you get to know me over time, you will learn that informed consent is one of my core values. I believe that everyone should understand the potential benefits, the potential risks, and alternatives to any intervention they are seeking. Get that information and then make the best decision that you have for you, because you are the one that will deal with the consequences of your choice. Sure, other people might secondarily because they're in a relationship with you, but first and foremost, it will be your body and your future that is impacted by your decisions. So choose wisely and get your information and get your informed consent, and then make a decision. And we are here to support you. We are not here to force you into any decision. That's not what we do, and that's not how we roll. We are really here to give you the information so that you can make the best choice for you. And I want to ask one more question because I'm all about the questions. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are actively supporting your body's ability to live and age better. How would that change everything? For me, personally, that has allowed me to escape the fear of this runs in my family, this runs in my family. I have to do this screening, this screening, this screening, this screening every single year and expose myself to radiation and stuff that perpetuates the things that we're fearful of. For me, I know I wake up every single day and I'm activating literally almost every capability my body has until we come up with another one. And that makes me feel so confident. And that confidence provides me hope. It provides me freedom and ease to live my life the best way I can and just see how it pans out. That's my goal in life. Live with the full capability of my body, as healthy, happy, and as long as I can. And then when it's my time to go, see ya. So that's what we have for you today. I'll turn it back to Amanda and April for any last comments, and then just know that if you feel so called, you can book a one-on-one with us and we can help you work through what's best for you. The way I look at activation is it's a buffet. You can choose your favorites or you can just choose everything. It's an all you can eat buffet. So, and it never closes. It's always open. So
I love that. That is amazing, Mary. Thank you for such a thoughtfully curated presentation on the facts at hand that we are just so excited to make sure people discover. Because, as you said, like informed consent is really the highest priority. And it's such a principle that we live by. And everyone within the LifeVantage company and community also aligned there. So I just love the message. Thank you so much for presenting today and bringing such reflective questions. I think it's so necessary for our soul's evolution and our human experience here on earth to be able to really reminisce and to really like accurately reflect and reminisce on the changes we go through, the challenges we go through in life, because challenge brings growth. That's just really part of the gig we've got here. And with activation, I love how the challenges have all but essentially alleviated. They really have. It does so on the health level as well as the finance level. And in addition to that reality. We are enriching relationships when we share with the people who matter to us. Just by simply sharing this information, we're just trying to help people make their own lives better. And we've already enacted it. We are a walking reflection of it and a wellness advocate for it. So I really can't see any other way to be able to have a vehicle for true change that is like integral and of the highest caliber, really. Like it tops anything and everything I've ever seen to be right here sharing this with people we love. And um, I'm just always so forever grateful for LifeVantage being introduced to me and for the healing that and I make no claims. We are healing ourselves. I make no claims with any of our products that they heal anything, but to empower us to heal ourselves from the experiences that we have had challenge from. And that's all we're here to do, really, is empower our own healing and support our body's intelligent design. And it's just absolutely incredible what we have here. And for any of you watching this, I just encourage you to really get with whoever shared it with you, because you'll see this as a recording and someone else might have shared it. Just get with the person who shared this with you to get more information and get your questions asked or answered. And of course, we are always open to helping understand anything or, onboard and train and whatnot. We love working with people, and it's just really a matter of like a rising tide raises all ships, and that's the culture. So get with the person who shared this with you, and let's get this going. Thank you, Mary, very much. And thank you, April, for being here. Thank you for joining our family, our Activation Nation. And I'm just so thrilled with the trajectory that you're on for yourself. And like, I'm excited to see what you do with this.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate all your support too. And I must say, like, it is a lot of support. And so I think I have a good foundation just because you guys set me up for that. So yeah, you're definitely appreciated.